Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking all about vegan nutrition during pregnancy. And a lot of these tips can be applied to any pregnancy. It doesn't mean it's just because it's vegan that it only applies to vegans. It's actually a lot of information that no matter what kind of food you eat, these kind of top nutrients will apply to you as well. First of all, please excuse the mess in the background. I'm currently in what will eventually be my baby's room or nursery. And so we're kind of in the middle of moving everything around and getting everything organized. So, first of all, I guess this is going to be a little bit of a myth busting video, but also some education on specific nutrients that are really important to grow a healthy baby. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the biggest myth out there that you are actually eating for two. And this is very, very far off from the truth, because if you think about it, your little tiny human is not a full-grown adult, and so you are not eating the same amount of food twice because you're not feeding a second full-grown adult. That being said, you will eventually need to start to up your calorie intake or your food intake as your pregnancy progresses. But this video is targeted specifically for the first trimester, and really there's no need to change anything about your nutrition in the first trimester except for taking a prenatal vitamin. Now I'm going to step back for a moment, because nutrition really starts before you even know you're pregnant. Whether or not you're trying to get pregnant, just having a healthy body and maintaining really good nutrition and physical exercise is key to overall health, of course. But if you are trying to get pregnant, one of the best things you can do is start your prenatal vitamin early. And the recommendation currently out there is approximately 3 months before you're starting the process of trying to conceive. And that's so that your body has time to get a really good, healthy store of all of these major nutrients that are really key, important things for your body to be able to grow a healthy baby. So obviously, tip number one, start a prenatal vitamin as soon as you can, really, and eat food that nourishes your body. So your whole grains, your beans, your vegetables and fruits of all colors of the rainbow. So now that you've decided to choose to take a prenatal vitamin, there's a lot of things to consider, because just like everything else out there in the world, there's a million options. So first, you have to decide what's really important to you, but also in terms of being vegan or not, because there's a lot of supplements out there that do use animal based products in order to get the nutrients you need. For example, omega-3s and vitamin D can be animal derived if you're not keeping an eye out for that. However, I could make a whole entire video just going down the realm of omega-3s. So if that is of interest of you, let me know in the comments and I will make a separate video. However, I'm going to keep this really general because this video will be very long otherwise. So when you're choosing a supplement, there's a couple things that you should definitely look out for. And the first one is whether or not it has been tested by a third party. And so I'll put a couple of links below to the different companies that are kind of third-party verify different supplements. Unfortunately, supplements are not a regulated food product by the FDA. And so there can be a lot of variation between supplements, and some supplements can have a lot of fillers and not as much quality nutrients. So you could just be paying for something that is not doing your body as good as it could. So now that we're on choosing a supplement, this is where I am going to get into a little bit of more of the details of the top nutrients that you should look for in a prenatal vitamin, but also to make sure that you're getting enough of in your diet, because in your diet is the best possible way to get nutrition. It's the most bioavailable, means that your body will absorb it the best, and you know that you're getting quality stuff. The prenatal is more of an insurance policy on the fact that you are getting enough for both you and your baby. The way that I like to look at it is the prenatal is replenishing the stores in your own body that your baby is taking from you. It's a little bit different of a way to look at it, but your baby will get what it needs. And so you need to make sure that you are healthy so that you can supply those needs to your baby and still have enough stores for yourself to be healthy as well. So the first big one in a prenatal is folate. And there's been a lot more research in the past 5 to 10 years about the importance of folate. And what's interesting is that there's 2 different types of folate, or also known as folic acid, on a nutrition label. And the interesting part is that they can be found as either or. The issue is that they are actually 2 different things. Folic acid is the naturally occurring form of this vitamin. It's called B9, and it's mostly the form that's found in all of your plant foods, specifically your beans and your leafy green vegetables. Folic acid, however, is the type that is found it's synthetic, and it's mostly found in supplements or fortified foods. So whenever you see like a cereal box or a supplement or some food that is a more of a processed food that shows folate in it, it's actually folic acid most of the time. The problem is that some people have a hard time absorbing folic acid. So when you take in folic acid, your body has to convert it into folate in order to be used, which is another reason why it's important to make sure that you're getting plenty of nutrients from your food. So some of the big high folate foods include the dark leafy greens like spinach and lettuce, avocado, Brussels sprouts, and asparagus. So anything that's dark and green, it'll probably have a decent amount of folate for you. So the reason that folate is so important is because it actually helps with making white blood cells, making DNA. It's really important any time of rapid growth, and rapid growth is definitely happening during pregnancy. You're building this whole new life form. And so with that, we've learned that folate is a crucial nutrient for you. That being said, I have put all of the recommended intakes of all of these nutrients in the description below. So the next big one, as I talked about earlier, is omega-3s. We know now the importance of DHA and EPA, which both are different types of omega-3s. And omega-3s really help with brain health. And obviously your baby is growing a brain at this point, and so it's really important that they get these healthy fats to support that process. This one's a little bit more tricky if you are choosing a vegan or plant-based diet. Not to say that it's not possible, because there's plenty of omega-3s found in nature, such as in flax seeds and walnuts. Those are 2 really good sources. Chia seeds and hemp seeds are also really good. But again, it's good to have that little extra boost from the supplement so that you make sure that you're getting enough. And what to look for if you are looking for a vegan option is to look for an algae-based omega-3 that has both DHA and EPA. Both of those should be in your omega-3 supplement. If you are not looking for a vegan supplement, typically this is fish oil based products, but definitely make sure that you look for the sustainability of that product. There's a lot of supplements out there where the fish are not sustainably raised or caught, and it's really, really bad for the environment. So I do recommend looking for a sustainable product, and if you have a hard time finding one, just go with the algae plant-based version as well. Another big one, number 3, is iron. Iron can be a little bit of an issue for a lot of women, and that's just because of our regular cycle. We tend to shed a lot of that iron that's stored in our blood with each cycle of menstruation. And so even during pregnancy, when our blood volume is increasing, it can be another time that iron stores get a little bit depleted. So definitely make sure that you're getting your blood work done through your doctor, and don't just jump on to all these supplements. But especially with iron, iron's really important for blood health, as I just mentioned. For me personally, I have always had really strong iron in my blood, and so my prenatal does not have any iron in it. And I have been making sure that all of my blood levels are maintaining healthy levels. So if for some reason later on in my pregnancy I start to have lower iron stores, I will switch to taking an iron supplement. But right now, I'm good. And so there's no reason for me to take any extra. We've got 2 more big ones here. Number 4 is vitamin D. This is a really big one, especially if you're currently pregnant and it's the middle of winter. Any time of year, a lot of people, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, can be low on vitamin D. And so it's really important for a lot of people to take a supplement no matter what. However, once again, because you're pregnant and you're having more growth and development and opportunities for your stores to be depleted, vitamin D is even more important. The one big thing that I always say for vitamin D is look for vitamin D3. This is the most bioavailable form. I personally enjoy it in a little dropper bottle because then I can count out how many drops and be more exact on how much vitamin D I want to take on a given day. And so I don't have to constantly be taking huge doses every single day. And the 5th and final nutrient to talk about is vitamin B12. B12 is a hot topic on any plant-based video, but B12 is so crucial for the health of your baby. B12 is one of those vitamins that plays a big role in the health of your nerves. And when your baby is growing their spine and growing their nerves and growing their their brain, vitamin B12 plays a big role. That being said, B12 can be stored in your liver, but you definitely need to make sure that your B12 levels are healthy so that your baby's getting enough B12 as well. All of that being said, now you've gotten your prenatal vitamin, you're taking it regularly, and you're in your first trimester. Your baby is growing very, very fast at this point. And so now is the point that a lot of women, especially first-time moms, like to think that they will be eating a super healthy diet and all of this. But unfortunately, especially during the first trimester, it can be very difficult to maintain a healthy diet because of a lot of different fluctuations in hormones that can cause nausea, extreme tiredness, and fatigue that I talked about in my first 2 videos. So what helps with nausea? What helps with fatigue? And honestly, it's different for everyone, but making sure you're getting enough rest. When you're tired, take a nap as soon as you possibly can. I understand that most people work during the day. I know I do, and so it's exhausting. And if you need to take a nap as soon as you get home, take a nap. It's okay. Let yourself rest. But in terms of nausea, some of the things that have both helped me and helped some other people that I know are drinking bubbly waters or carbonated waters. The bubbles help a little bit with nausea. Drinking ginger tea or peppermint tea or lemon tea, all of these ginger for sure helps with nausea, but the lemon and the peppermint can help settle any digestion issues as well. Eating small, frequent meals, your hunger may go up, it may go down depending on what type of morning sickness you're experiencing. But again, don't stress out over it. If you are having trouble keeping food down because you're getting sick every time you eat as much as you can. But again, don't worry about it. The weight gain for pregnancy doesn't really start until the second trimester anyways, in terms of overall health. And so it's just important to maintain your body's health and your nutrition and some physical activity at least. Whatever you were doing before you got pregnant, it's okay to keep doing during your first trimester for the most part. That being said, obviously alcohol, fish more than twice a week, or any raw meats or fish are a big no-no. No smoking for obvious reasons, and making sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Some other things are to eat, some crackers, some bread, having a snack, a light snack every 2 to 3 hours seemed to help me a lot. Yeah, just really tuning in to your own body and trying to get as much nutrition as you can without stressing yourself out is the big, big key. Now, finally, because I teach and practice yoga, I thought I'd share a little bit of insight about a yoga practice during your first trimester. And I kind of alluded to it already in terms of activity, but really, you don't need to change much with your yoga practice during this time. If you wanted to start modifying, you absolutely can. The big thing that you have to be aware of during any time or as time progresses is deep twists. You might not want to do like really big deep twisting postures or lying on your belly. Some people in the first trimester, especially if you're not showing, are comfortable still lying on their belly. But again, that's really up to you. You know your body and your baby better than anybody else. And so it's important that you honor your intuition and your gut feeling above anything else. So that is basically it. It's basically a general overview of the first trimester nutrition. I skimmed the surface to try to keep this video as short as possible. But if you would like me to dive deeper into any of these topics or create a separate video on any of the specific things that we talked about, let me know in the comments and I am glad to do so. Again, I am sharing my journey as well as some educational videos about nutrition and yoga, specifically through my training that I've done. But at the end of the day, it's all about you and what you need and what you and your doctor or individual dietitian talk about. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And again, let me know if there's anything you'd like me to dive into a little bit more. The next video will be most likely all about the second trimester and what I've been going through, because I'm almost out of the second trimester already. I can't even believe it. So yeah, share your stories with me. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, bye.